We're going to make this fun color wheel Ferris wheel today. We're going to start by doing our drawing first, and then we're going to make our background that kind of looks like carnival lights using these fun tissue paper circles. And then we'll paint our color wheel on there. So we're going to start off with this. It's already pre-drawn for us just to make it a little bit easier. But we're going to draw our Ferris wheel on here. So we're going to start by making a line across the bottom. This is going to be the Ferris wheel stand. So make it kind of thick. Go over it a few times, make it dark. And then we're going to draw a triangle shape all the way up to the point in the middle of your color wheel. So start on this side and go up, 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 up till you get straight to the point. Make sure it's nice and straight. And go over it a few times so it's really dark. And then come on this side and do the same thing. You're going to go up to that spot. Up, 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 nice and straight. And then go over it a few times. Make it nice and dark. And that's the stand on your Ferris wheel. You can even make it even a little bit bigger at the bottom if you want. Color it in. Now let's make a circle right here in the middle. This is where it attaches to your Ferris wheel. And color that in. Now we're going to make our little carts, the part that you ride in, and it's pretty much a semicircle. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on the end of every line that touches your circle, and we're going to draw a U shape with a line through it. Okay? A U shape with a line through it. And then color those in. Nice and dark. Nice and straight. Alright, so go to the next one. U shape with a line through it. A U shape with a line in it. With a line through it. Color it in. Alright, the last one down here. U shape with a line through it. It's okay if it touches your triangle, that's fine. Alright, let's add our line at the bottom. We're going to go all the way across the bottom and make a line. That's where the ground and the sky will meet. So this will be the ground and this will be your sky. Alright, now's the fun part. We are going to add these fun little tissue paper circles to our sky. And we've got to actually paint them on using water. What we're going to do is we're going to wet our paper just a little bit, like this, just in the sky. And we're going to just take these little dots and lay them on there, one at a time. Now, they kind of stick together, so be real careful on how many you lay down. We do not want to put a whole bunch all stuck together. See how those are stuck together right there? You pull those apart. And if you need to use your brush to push it down, you can. And once you have a bunch of them on here, and they're kind of semi-stuck, what you're going to do is get your water one more time and go just kind of lightly paint. You don't want a lot of water. Just lightly paint over them so they stick really, really well. Now, we only want to do it on the outside. We do not want to do it inside of our circle or our ground. We just want them on our sky here. Just stick them down and let them. And then once you get some on there, go ahead and rub over them. And you'll see that some of the paint will start coming off of them. It's pretty neat. If it gets a little on your circle, that's okay. Just don't do it a lot. And it's okay if they overlap. They do not have to take up their own spot. They can touch a little bit. That's fine. This shouldn't take too long. Just paint a wet spot, stick it down. Paint a wet spot, stick it down. Paint a wet spot, stick it down. And then once you get a bunch on there, go ahead and do a little bit of water over it. Keep on going. Cover the whole sky. Your background, it should look like this. The whole background should be covered. Don't forget this space down here where your Ferris wheel part is. Don't forget that. And we're going to take this to the drying rack now and let this dry just like this. And then next week we will paint our Ferris wheel and our ground. It will also peel all these off. Now that our dots are dry, we're going to peel these off one by one and stick them into our little basket here. Don't miss any. I know they're kind of camouflage there, so just pick them all off. You can rake them if you need. We're going to stick these into our basket, and you're going to see that it's going to be real colorful and round. Kind of looks like lights that you would see at a fair, circus. Shiny, bright lights everywhere. So pulling all these off. Put them in your basket. Now that we've peeled off all of our watercolor tissue, we are going to paint our color wheel now. So let's go ahead and grab our brush, and we're going to start off here at the top, and we're going to do our primary colors. And we know our primary colors are yellow, red, and blue. So let's start at this top, and we're going to do our first primary color, which is yellow. So go ahead and swirl around your yellow. And we're going to paint this first little wedge here, a little piece of pie here, yellow for our first primary color. Go ahead and take your time, stay in the lines. We want it nice and neat. When you're finished, rinse off that brush. And we're going to do our next primary color. We're going to come down here to this wedge. We're going to skip one because that's where our secondary color will go. And we're going to go to our next one. And we're going to put red here. So go ahead and swirl around your red. Get some red on your brush. Swirl, 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 swirl. And we're going to go ahead and put some red right there for our second primary color. Stay in the lines. We'll rinse our brush off again, and we're going to do our last primary color, which is blue. We're going to put it over here. So swirl around your blue, swirl, 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 and then paint this little wedge over here, a little piece of pie, blue. Alright, we're going to work on our secondary colors. And we know secondary colors are we mix two primary colors together. So let's start off with our red and our yellow. What happens when you mix together red and yellow? What color do you get? Well, you get orange. So let's swirl, 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 swirl around our orange. And then we're going to put our orange in between our red and yellow, because that's what you get when you mix together yellow and red. You get orange. Alright, let's go and do our next primary color. What happens when you mix together yellow and blue? You get green. So let's go ahead, mix up our green, and let's paint the wedge in between the blue and yellow green. Good. And our last primary color, we mix together blue and red. What do you get? Well, we get purple. So we're going to paint the spot in between our blue and our red purple. All right. And last thing, we're going to come down here to the bottom, and we're going to paint our ground. And I'm going to paint mine green. I'm just going to paint that whole bottom down here green. And you can paint right over the black. You don't have to paint around it. It will not cover your black up. It'll still show up just fine. Alright, then we're going to take this to the drying rack and let it dry.